Joining us now for more on this monster storm is Stephanie Fox. She is the Region Director of Communications for the Red Cross. Stephanie, thanks for making the time for us tonight. Let's compare this to Katrina, since we have that Cat 3 storm as a frame of reference. What were the biggest needs then, and do you expect them to be the same this time?
So the needs in any major disaster, especially as we look at a hurricane, are ensuring that folks are listening to their emergency officials, that they are seeking and getting safe shelter, that they have the necessities, including access to food, water, hygiene products. And that's where the Red Cross comes in to provide all of those things for communities in need.
Yeah, and we talked about this before. Every hurricane, people refuse to evacuate, and that not only puts them at risk, but also the first responders, the rescue crews who are trying to help them. What do you say as someone who's been on the ground in these types of situations to people who are staying put or refusing to evacuate?
I can't encourage folks enough to take the proper measures to ensure that they can sustain up to 3 days without assistance at their homes if they do choose not to evacuate, to make sure that they have an emergency preparedness kit with a gallon of water per person per day, that they have access to flashlights, prescription medication, creature comforts, so that they can sustain in their household, of course, non-perishable food items. But for those who may have stayed and now are deciding that maybe they do need to seek refuge somewhere, the Red Cross, as well as the state of Louisiana and many other entities, have evacuation centers that have opened as recently as 6 o'clock tonight. More will open up as the night goes on and into tomorrow morning. So we encourage everyone to find their local shelter near them and to evacuate if they feel the need to.
Yeah, you all do so much for so many people in these situations. The hospitals in New Orleans are not being evacuated because COVID-19 is overwhelming hospitals in neighboring states and areas. Is COVID affecting your job right now, and are you concerned about the hospitals?
We learned a lot last year operating and managing disasters in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic, and this year is no different than that. We are ensuring that folks are safe by using a lot of those CDC protocols in our congregate shelters and at any of our facilities and anywhere really in the community that we're going to be supporting after landfall. We are asking that folks, if they do come to our shelters, that they are wearing masks, that they are practicing distancing of at least 6 feet from others outside of their family. We are having enhanced cleaning practices at those facilities. We also will be encouraging folks to bring some of their own materials from home, some of those creature comforts, to ensure that they are comfortable in that environment. And then if we do have folks that come into the facilities that may have a COVID-19 positive test, or that may be feeling a little ill, we're going to do what we can to separate them from the general population.
And the entire city of New Orleans was not evacuated because time ran out. We heard the mayor talking about that. Normally, you would have to shut down the highway, the traffic systems to get everyone out. And they said that time just wasn't on our side. Time ran out. Are you concerned that you're going to have enough room for everyone after the storm hits?
These types of situations are constantly evolving, and not only does the Red Cross have plans to manage this, but of course the state of Louisiana does as well. So we have multiple shelters that we can open up if one does fill up, and if the need is there for folks to seek refuge. Roads have been incredibly busy, so a lot of folks are taking this threat seriously. They are leaving and evacuating ahead of time. So we will continue to pivot and assess the needs of the communities and do what we can to provide safe shelter, comfort, and care.
I know you all do such a good job in every disaster, but was there something about Hurricane Katrina that taught you a lesson that you'll be using this time around that you didn't previously know?
I think every disaster really allows us the opportunity to better engage with our communities, to better support them in their time of need. And Katrina is no different, whether it's looking at last year's hurricanes with Hurricane Laura, Delta, and Zeta, or further back than that. We're constantly looking to see how we can better improve our services, how we can deliver things to communities and provide that comfort and care that our communities need before, during, and after an event.
All right, Stephanie Fox, thank you so much for your time. Stay safe.